Hello all my creative friends. Today I have for you a new video using the latest product that I have available, Art Foamies. I am in love with them. I haven't found anything else that works as well stamping on textiles, but these are also wonderful for stamping on mixed media papers. First, I am going to gather up different weights and types of cottons. They are all pre-washed with no fabric softener. I use high heat in the dryer. I want them to be clean of all the gunk that might be in them and sizing, as well as I want them to pre-shrink before I use them for my project. I will be using the Merman art foamy as well as lovely Frida and a cute set of hands that I'm going to be building slow fashion Frida collages, which will be part of a new series. Here I'm using a jacquard fabric paint or textile paint. All of my supplies will be listed in the description of this video. Also on my website I have direct links to all the products that are available for you as well. I'm using a brayer and rolling on the paint smoothly. I'm first using that IOD thin mount mat or any kind of, freezer paper, anything you have to roll out the paint to get an even layer over that stamp. You'll notice that I used a fine mister to mist the cloth or the textile before I stamp. Usually you'll see me patting it down, the water, the mist, after I stamp. What this does, it allows the paint to penetrate just a little bit more into the cotton fiber, and that's what you want for more permanency. Once I get paint on the surface of that stamp, I only use it a couple more times before I soak it in a tub of warm, sudsy, mild detergent. I have a soft cloth that I wipe it with to get all of the paint out of it, and I just let it soak in there until I'm done stamping with the other stamps in this session. When the water gets too mucky, I take it to the sink, rinse off my stamps again, and then pat them dry and let them air dry on their own without any heat. To store my art foamies, I keep them in a hard plastic clear container, and I do not crush them down with the lid. I make sure they have plenty of room. Here I'm rolling out two different colors onto my paint palette or my plastic sheet, and I want it to look a little bit variegated when I stamp. I'm stamping it on a piece of tie-dyed cotton from my stash. I do a lot of hand dyeing as well. I usually stamp in bulk or assembly line, so now I'm using my lovely Frida stamps and the hands for my new series. Slow Fashion Frida, which includes a PDF of all the outfits and accessories and background appliques that I'm using for my Frida collages. For the sacred hearts that go with my Frida collages, I'm going to stamp them on this white background. I use that natural color, or it has a little bit of a yellow tint, but usually I would use like a natural muslin or something for faces and hands. But either way, just choose a very light fabric, and with your painting over the top, you'll be fine. I can squeeze these hearts in. I want to leave about a quarter of an inch around each object when I am stamping. That way I have plenty of space around the object for my sewing. The mister, or the fine mister that I'm using, puts out a very, very light spray. So it's not enough to make the paints bleed on the fabric. And I'm misting also this paint because it's getting a little bit dried out. I can tell because it's not as smooth or creamy. But there is a balance between too much mist and nothing at all. So just test and play around with it and see what works for you. Whenever I finish a piece or I'm switching colors while I'm painting, I heat set my textiles. I get another piece of cotton cloth, lay it over the dried paint, and heat set it on the highest heat setting of your iron until it gets super hot. I don't worry too much about how much time I spend doing it, because over the course of this process, I will be heat setting after each layer of the decorative painting. Every time I am finished with a session in stamping or stenciling or hand painting, whatever paints I have left on my palette or my sheets or my little bins, I offload it onto paper or to fabric. This provides me with a lot of really cool textures that I layer and use in my collage pieces that you will see in future videos. Make sure to hit the subscribe button if you would like to see more from this series of my Merman collages, as well as my slow fashion Frida collages. If you are inspired by Frida as much as I am, her life and her work, please check out my Slow Fashion Frida PDF, where I have the patterns, the accessories, the background appliques for you to easily create the Frida collages as well. This is Rhonda Church Fenfrock of Fruitful Life Studio. Happy creating, and thanks for watching.